Welcome to State of the Nation and the Building of a New Republic. This is Melinda Klein. Why did the American patriots win the Revolution? While this answer is not a simple one, it was a combination of the following: luck, brilliance, determination, costly errors by the British, and timely aid received from abroad allowed the patriots to make full use of the advantages of fighting on their home soil that frustrated the British military movements. This war united the colonies in their efforts to reform British policies in North America. The war was important for its effects on American society as well. It shook the existing social order because it caused women to reevaluate their roles. It spread the notions of liberty and freedom across the social classes and even reached African American communities. Victory in the American Revolution solved many of the problems of the new nation, but as you'll see, it produced others. Benjamin Franklin, founding father, diplomat, and the most distinguished scientific and literary American of his age, was the first ambassador to France from 1776 to 1785. As a leader of the Enlightenment, he gained the recognition of scientists and intellectuals across Europe. His success in securing French military and financial aid was the turning point for American victory over the British in the 1770s. He became a national hero in America when he spearheaded the effort to have Parliament repeal the unpopular Stamp Act in 1765. Having fought for liberty and self-government, Americans now had the task of creating an effective government to protect their rights. After the Revolution, the main tasks of this new government were the following 6 immediate aims: to pay for the war debt, to reduce the army. As the new republic had no colonies, it needed a new economic theory outside of mercantilism to conduct trade to the advantages of the Americans, to coexist with the Spanish, to deal with the Native Americans, and lastly, to supervise the white frontier settlements in the West. A federal state has a weak centralized government with the power at the state level. It was agreed that the federal government should be responsible for the following: 1. To conduct foreign affairs. 2. Declare war and peace. 3. Coin the national money. And number 4, that the federal government did not have the power to levy taxes or raise troops without popular consent. In September 1786, delegates gathered in Annapolis, Maryland, to amend the Articles of Confederation in efforts to best support the growth of trade, but they failed. Another convention was called in May 1787 at Philadelphia. The Great Compromise became the formation of a representative lower house called the House of Representatives and an upper house called the Senate. This compromise solved the problem of small and larger states by having equal representation. For each representative, the state needed 30,000 people. 3 major accomplishments by Washington as president included, but are not limited to, signing treaties with the Indians, drawing up the Bill of Rights, and creating a Supreme Court. There were opposers to this new government. Not all politicians, especially other Southerners, wanted a nationalist government under federalism. Southerners thought the government might, in time, eliminate slavery, a source of their economic livelihood. The U.S. Constitution was ratified in 1787. Soon after, by 1791, James Madison, at the first U.S. Congress, proposed 10 amendments to the Constitution to limit the power of the federal government and protect the rights of citizens, residents, and visitors. The Franco-American Alliance was a pact between France and the United States signed in Paris by American and French officials on February 6, 1778. It was mutually beneficial only for 5 years, from 1778 to 1783, and was ended in 1799 after the French Revolution. French power under Napoleon rose quickly. He conquered most of Europe, and this collapsed after the disastrous invasion of Russia in 1812, and Napoleon's empire ultimately suffered complete military defeat, resulting in the Bourbon monarchy being restored in 1814-1815. U.S. Chief Justice John Jay, who had helped negotiate an end to the War for Independence and had served as Secretary of Foreign Affairs under the Articles of Confederation, was selected to undertake a mission to London in 1794 to resolve outstanding issues between the U.S. government and the British Empire. The result was the Jay Treaty. It was immensely unpopular, and John Jay became one of the most hated Americans for caving in to the British government. The treaty squeaked through the Senate on June 24, 1795. After the Revolution, the rights of women did not change. English law required that the rights of women belonged to her husband, and if she was unmarried, her father. This English legal standard was upheld by the newly formed United States. Women were barred from positions of high status and could only serve as ministers as Baptists or Quakers. A medical education was only open to men, so women tended to be midwives and were often otherwise denied entrances to all colleges until 1850. New state governments were also concerned with defining religious freedom. Before the Revolution, states varied greatly on issues of church and state as well. Don't forget, Massachusetts had been a Puritan theocracy, government run by religious men, but not ministers, before it lost its charter in 1691 and officially became a colony ruled by William and Mary afterwards. For the government, the question was raised, should there be a national church like in England, the Church of England, the Anglican Church? With the variety of Protestant churches across the colonies, it was not believed by the government that a national Protestant church in united practices could be forged. Debates continued in the American North regarding slavery. It seemed by many in politics that keeping Americans of African descent in chains after the Revolution made the government look hypocritical, as it promoted a rhetoric of freedom. Like practiced in ancient Rome, some Africans would gain their freedom, and by 1800, 8% of all people of African descent were free. However, after the Revolution, thousands of runaway slaves decided to leave to Mexican territories and British Canada.